If you've ever used NPM, you may have ended up in package hell. You'll discover that the average NPM package invokes lots of other packages, and that discrepancies among versions of these packages can cause all sorts of headaches. You will also discover that you may have some security holes you were not expecting. The problem is when you install an NPM package, it actually runs, potentially, a bash shell on your computer that can do pretty much anything. On one hand, you can install the Elm compiler with it. Yay. On the other hand, it can also install some security violations. We've also had cases where somebody removed a package and suddenly broke half of NPM because it was a very simple package that everything else was depending on. When you start using the Elm package system, you'll discover that it's very different than NPM. Elm, and by the way, much of what I'm saying about NPM applies to lots of other package systems. I'm not just picking on NPM here. Elm packages are very restricted in what they can do. They can only invoke pure Elm code. That's it. End of story. In addition, the Elm package manager platform enforces semantic versioning using types. So if you change a function, an API call or a function in your package, and when you upgrade it, you have to bump the major version. This leads to a few packages having major versions that are closer to 30 after less than a year, which is a little weird looking, but we'll go with it. The advantage of it is that the chance that an errant package being updated will break your code, while not zero, is very close to zero. It's certainly possible for somebody, given sufficient levels of creativity, to break your code in an Elm package, but it's very unlikely. This allows you to have much more reliability in what you're doing. You know, one thing that scares me about using lots and lots of packages is inevitably, I don't even know all the packages I use because in Erlang or other languages, I'll include one package, which will then include 3 more, and suddenly I've got 8 or 10 packages I don't even know about, and suddenly there's a version conflict because this wants version 2 and that wants version 2.6, and suddenly the entire thing goes. You spend hours and hours debugging why you can't get your code to work. Now, admittedly, the version conflict can still happen with the Elm package manager, although it's usually pretty good about giving you a helpful error message when it does. And it's not that often. So the Elm package manager is really designed to make package management kind of nice. It does, however, have some drawbacks in that it disallows certain activities because it could not give you that niceness without disallowing that. Frequently it's an engineering compromise. The way you make something easier to use is by disallowing something. The way you make something more pleasant to use is by disallowing some features that might be useful in some cases, but would also be problematic in others and cause difficulty. Is that a good choice or a bad choice? It's a judgment call.